I'm Jonathan Urbanowicz. We're happy to take you through, as it looks like the London Lightning are mixing things up maybe after that loss last night, John. Instead of wearing their normal yellow uniforms at home, they're going to wear the road blacks instead with the yellow trim, forcing the KW Titans to don their whites here on the road on your Thursday night.
Quite a contrast, and we'll definitely know who's on the floor, that's for sure, who's who. But yeah, you're right, not the regular yellow home uniform, it's the black and with the yellow lettering on it.
Tyran Walker is going to go into the center circle for the opening tip-off. John, he played in Poland, France, and Slovakia. In fact, he went back to Slovakia between NBLC seasons, and he's back with the KW Titans. He's going up against Cameron Lard. So it's Walker, it's Lard, it's the Titans, it's the Lightning, and it's right now on your Thursday night. Tyran Walker wins the opening tip-off, and away we go, John. It's Kearns coming through midcourt.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Kearns yet, so this is our first look as announcers physically at the KW team. We've seen him a bit on tape, some highlights, and of course the stats, but not in person. First three is up and down.
Sam Akano, last year he was playing in Macedonia, John, averaging 20 points per game over 37 minutes. This is his first year in Canada in the NBLC.
Yeah, he's in the top of the league of scoring, leading scorer for his team as well.
Jordan Burns
rebounds.
Gets it down low to Cameron Lard, who goes around Tyran Walker, and Walker right away goes, my bad.
It was. He overplayed him. He let him go to his strong side instead of making him go left.
Samuel Kearns looks like the general on the court for Cliff Clinkscales. He's going to carry this one up the court. Both Audie and Lard got in the way, and turning the tide, it's Burns. Nice pass down low to Lard. He's going to try and go back to work on Walker, and he's twice as nice on the night.
Well, I'm going to say maybe that isn't his weak side. He went left that time. Well, it was a great head fake, a great head pump to get the defender off the ground.
So after Sam Akano had the opening three ball back-to-back with Cameron Lard, Kearns trying to respond, dishes this one off to Hayes. Near wing three, grazes the front of the rim for Kearns.
Let's see if it's a point of emphasis here tonight to get the ball into the middle. We were saying that last night against Sudbury. We thought Lard should have touched the ball much more inside the middle.
So Kearns again continuing to dictate the pace for the team in white on the road in the Titans. Sam Akano in the last game against London had 18.6 assists and 4 rebounds. This shot won't go. Nuga in the near corner looks like he's stepping out of bounds. I thought for a second they were calling Mike Poole in the foul, but he stepped out of bounds in front of his own bench. So as I was telling you before, Mike Poole actually played with Cliff Clinkscales, his head coach, when they were both still in the league back in 2016 with the Hamilton Hurricanes. Marique Isom, the Texas native, playing some defense, got the hand in the grill that time of the shooter, and Jalen Hayes, and disrupted the flow. Much better start to tonight's game, John, when you consider it took 3 minutes and 58 seconds for London to get their first points of the game, which came via goaltending, by the way. It never went through the basket.
Just seeing what their point of emphasis here. They're going hard at Walker, and that was Audie up and over with his left hand, no less.
Marcus Audie, he's our player to watch. 38 minutes off the bench last night, and he shot 10 of 13 from the field. John, as a team, London shot 44.7%, but interesting to note, 35 of their 76 shots were taken from beyond the arc, and they made 13 of them. Hayes from distance. Rim rejection. Audie on the rebound. Remember, he had 9 last night. He's already got 2 early in this contest. So let's see if they continue to try and exploit Walker down low. They tried to feed the pass to Burns. It's intercepted by Kearns, and back the other way come the Titans. They draw the foul as a pile of humanity collided with Sam Akano.
Yes, I don't know who got the worst of that one. Akano was willing to take the contact, but he got hammered. I believe by Lard, it looks like.
Interesting route to this league for the guy from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Sam Akano, the 6'5" forward, played in Mexico following 2 years at Essex County Collegiate College, and then transferred to Texas Wesleyan in his collegiate career. So again, London start last night. They were down 16-2 to start the game last night to the Sudbury 5. They were down 32-16 after the first quarter. London did respond, John, remember in that second quarter, starting with a 7-0 run, but really in that second half, the Five were able to dictate the pace.
Yeah, and they never got closer than 8, and then always let it slip back up to 8, 18. 8 was as close as they ever got.
So right now, it's the London Lightning 6, Sam Akano 5, as he's got all the points for the Titans so far on your Thursday night. Silly pass by Burns is intercepted by Poole. He'll feed Akano.
Oh, great pair of hands. That was a tough catch. That'd be a great football catch down at your knees.
So the Philadelphia native has all 7 points to start your night for the KW Titans.
Well, he is averaging 22 points a game for the team. I think that's second or third in the league.
Mike Nuga, corner 3, rim rejection.
Well, after going 2 first possessions into the side to the big, they've gone away from it completely, London.
Samuel Kern spent 3 years at Oral Roberts, John. He started 71 of 89 games, and he had 25 a Gold Eagles uniform. Looks like both Adams as well as Justin Jackson.
I'm with Lard. He's just so frightened. Like, come on, boys, give me the ball. I got Sam Akano on me. Like, he's 4 inches shorter. I'm posted up. Like, why aren't you passing it to me? But they weren't really looking hard, and they didn't have an angle either.
And Cam's going to stay on the court. It's Marique Isom and Audie who's subbing off for Lance Adams and Justin Jackson, who, again, was drafted in the NBA a second round in the 2018 draft.
A little full court pressure here. We didn't see much of that last night.
Why did we not see that in the fourth quarter last night?
That's one way to gain energy, is to do a full court press.
Great defense by Justin Jackson, turning it into offense through Nuga. Kearns did not allow him to get the shot off.
He almost got the held ball there, but he's a little too aggressive. That's how you got worse to wear there, too.
Yeah, he might have worn an elbow there.
Yeah.
And by the way, Kearns is one of the newer Titans, actually. He signed with the team in March 9th. So just actually, a week ago there, John? And he's appeared so far in 3 games. By the way, when he was with Oral Roberts, as I mentioned before, the Golden Eagles, he was a 2018 Summit League all-newcomer team member, as Mike Nuga can't make the first from the line.
Oh, who's Oral Roberts playing tonight? You know? They're in the NCAA tournament.
Are they?
They're playing Duke tonight.
The Golden Eagles, can they take down the Blue Devils?
I don't know. Blue Devils have been on a hot streak, so I don't think so tonight, but they're in the tournament, and so his former alma mater is in the dance.
Well, Mike Nuga went to Portland State, Kent State, and UNLV. Are any of those schools in the big dance?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Not this year. No.
Go Boilermakers.
Purdue, Zach Edey,
We're
Mr. Big.
7'4", John. Unbelievable.
He's got a lot of awards.
Did not play competitive basketball during his high school days.
Well, he didn't start till the end of grade 10 is when he started. But he didn't play competitive in the high school. You're right. He played on some prep team, right?
Mike Poole has this one rattled down, John, and decides to go down. So finally, somebody other than Sam Akano has scored some points for the Titans. Burns retaliates with the distance, too.
We said it last night. We said it before. If Burns can get to the foul line, he can make that shot, I'm going to say, 8 out of 10 times. It's like a foul shot for him, that little jump shot from the foul line.
Burns was a 2021 Patriot League Player of the Year and a 2-time Patriot League Tournament MVP during his 4 years at Colgate. Cross-court pass from Akano with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. KW's got to start moving the ball. And they're going to say Justin Jackson fouled. Late a foolish foul, John, when you consider there was 1 second left on the shot clock.
Yes, thought maybe the clock had run out instead. That's a whistle, but you're right. That was a late whistle and a late foul by Justin Jackson. Not really necessary. The man had nowhere to go.
Looks like Jawan Miller is into the game, and I love the story about the point guard from Kitchener, Ontario, playing for his hometown KW Titans. In his 3rd season now with the Titans, John, he started in 3 of 48 games over his Titans career. He's logged over 360 minutes in the 2022 season. The former Halifax Hurricane Mike Poole got the offensive rebound, couldn't get it to go, and they're actually going to say this last touched off of a Titan as Elijah Lufiel was trying to battle for the ball underneath the basket.
That's a familiar name.
You see Jaquan Lightfoot also out on the court right now for Cliff Clinkscale's squad. Burns through midcourt, gains some separation, decides to put the floater up. It won't go. Elijah Lufiel on the recycling bin. John's good for 2.
That's his spot. Getting what I call them garbage points, but I don't mean that they're bad points. They're just you're picking up rebounds, loose rebounds, offensive rebounds, loose balls, and putting them back in for easy baskets. I call them. Who was one of the best players of that was We talked about him last night. Kevin McHale, so many garbage baskets in his career.
John, off the air when we said Tyran Walker was our player to watch, you said, what? It should have been Sam McCano. And maybe you're right, partner. He's got 9 of the first 11 points of the game for his team. Great defense here by the Titans and Jaquan Lightfoot, and he transitions it into offense through Akano. Miller is rejected, though, and they're going to say it last touch Lightfoot.
Good hustle back on London that time on defense. I thought that was going to be an easy basket, but we didn't see a lot of that last night, hustling back and trying to deny at the rim.
So we know the KW Titans are coached by Cliff Clinkscales. He left this league, John, as the all-time leading assist getter. But this was an interesting note. In his early career, he was on Slam Magazine. You remember Slam Magazine? In 1996, as a teenager, he appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, as well as the Rosie O'Donnell Show.
What?
He was recruited by the Kansas Jayhawks, the USC Trojans, among many other elite programs. But he decided to go to DePaul because he wanted to play in the Big East. Clinkscales played his full college career at DePaul University in Chicago, which is a Division I program in the Big East Conference, and has a huge success in NCAA tournaments. In fact, they've been 22 times, John. Clinkscales was a part of the team that beat the number 5 ranked Kansas squad in 2007, as well as logging wins at the NCAA tournament against regulars like Northwestern State, Marquette, Connecticut, California, and Villanueva.
What a resume. Wow. And to have him as your head coach, wouldn't that just be like you're coming on the court and you're coming to the team going like, who's my coach? What? Clinkscale, you got to be kidding me.
And by the way, as a professional, he ended up being drafted 7th overall in the 2008 NBA Development Draft, which is now known as the G League by the Erie Bayhawks. He had a short cup of coffee with the Rio Grande Vipers when he was then back in Erie and played one season actually in Panama City. And as I mentioned before, he would then go play for a team called the Halifax Hurricanes, and he logged 7 seasons in Halifax, and would become the NBLC all-time leading assist getter. Now, interesting note, John, he's won an NBLC championship and lost an NBLC championship, both in Game 7s, both to the London Lightning.
That's right.
Back into the action, all tied up at 11s. We see Adam Alita, the Canadian, now on the court.
Yeah, he got a short stint last night and made his one and only shot at 3.
Adams in the far corner as Audie splits the seam.
Oh my.
I'm just going to say, Adams is a Michigan native. He's the only non-Canadian product in a black uniform on the court right now. Mike Poole to Lightfoot. Leaves it there to Akano. He's been the hot hand with 9 points so far. Perfect 3 for 3 from the field, but he is human after all. Johnny misses a shot.
Good box out by Adams that time to get that rebound.
Corner 3, hits the rim. Elijah LaFille, another offensive rebound. Feeds the open man, and Adams, this one toilet bowls down.
That is his role, to spot up and shoot, and don't hesitate when you shoot, and he didn't that time. Smooth.
I don't know why, but even when I was a kid, always loved when the ball did that. Took a couple extra trips around the rim, but decided to go in. Adams grabs the loose change in his own end, fresh off of that toilet bowl 3. He'll carry it all the way up the court. Looks like 3 Titans are ready to be injected into this game from their head coach. It's Jackson for 3. It won't go, and it'll go out of bounds. Jackson 0 for 1 from the field. John, he had 13 points in the last game against KW, where he was 3 of 9 from the field, and he had 6 rebounds in 27 minutes. But we've been kind of, hammering this fact. There just seems to be so much potential and such a ceiling to Justin Jackson. Maybe putting too much criticism on him sometimes.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe high expectations of, where he got drafted. And mind you, we have said a few times, like, he's coming off a 2-year layoff of 2 serious injuries, right?
On the court right now. Your defending season MVP in 2022 takes a corner 3, but can't open the 2023 season with the shot.
That is going to be a difficult dynamic duel between Akano and Kindred when you're guarding them if they're on the floor together. Oh, my.
And remember, Kindred really willed the Titans into the 2022 finals, where they saw the London Lightning. And, in fact, he was banged up in the final third game and really couldn't play at 100%.
That's right.
If you give 100%, Kindred in that finals, you might get a Titans upset. So right now, back on the defense, Lightning trying to block at Elijah Effiget, who, by the way, a Canadian product. We saw Effiget play for the Windsor Express in past seasons. And our boy to watch in the Titans uniform, Tyran Walker, gets his first points of the game. London does have a 3-point lead here with 3:15 remaining in the opening quarter of play. Lots of Canadian content on the court right now, but Justin Jackson is fouled on his way to the hoop.
I like what he did there. He gave a little head fake and he went hard to the rim, hard to the hoop, instead of settling for a jump shot.
Now the Titans, by the way, I should mention, do have 3 Canadians on their roster. We saw Juwan Miller, the Kitchener native, already in this game, and we saw Elijah Effigie. We haven't seen the defending Rookie of the Year from this league yet, and Shaquan Barrett.
Yeah, that's right. Liberal substitution tonight on both sides.
Well,
they're playing tomorrow night, KW, right?
Not tomorrow night. No. They will go and play the Flint United with a rare 11 a.m. tip-off tomorrow on your St. Patrick's Day. Top of the morning to you, Johnny.
Tomorrow morning. Oh, my goodness.
Top of the morning.
So anyway, you got back-to-back games, and this is London's back-to-back game, so it makes sense we get liberal substitutions here.
Jackson trying to make it a 4-point lead, and he does. The guy, Justin Jackson, as I mentioned before, has represented Team Canada at numerous levels from 2012 to 2017. Losing this ball is Effigie. Burns and Jackson back up the court, but, you know, Burns was trying to get to Jackson. It deflected off of a Titan.
So that was a great little steal there by Jackson, but they stayed too close down the floor when they ran down. They ran parallel. They're like only 8 feet apart. Like, you got to get some space, and you got to give the ball up earlier to get that space as well. I was far too late.
And with Sam Aquino on the bench, the Titans offense seems stagnant right now, considering he's got 9 of their first 13 points. Nuga can't get this shot to go. He's 0 for 2 from the field so far on your Thursday evening. Juwan Miller, the Kitchener native, to Tyran Walker. There's your defending NBLC regular season MVP in Kindred. So Miller getting some separation with the help of Walker. Kicks this one out to Edwards. 3 ball is away. It won't go. Last touch, Lard's hand, though. This should be Titans' ball.
I would think you're right. Good eyes.
So again, from the near corner after missing that 3 ball was, I don't know if that's Ketter Edwards. I want to get the name right. It looks like Cedar Edwards to me, but I know it's not. So Ketter Edwards spent 2 seasons at Tennessee Martin. And by the way, he started 47 of 63 games for Tennessee Martin. They're known as the Skyhawks. He played a couple seasons in Spain, and as I mentioned before, much like Mike Poole, his teammate, they played with their head coach, Cliff Clinkscales, on the Halifax Hurricanes in the 2018-2019 season.
A little bit of, I don't know if you were watching the action under the basket there, but good battle for the rebound, and then sort of a careless pass by Marique Isom. A little bit uncharacteristic, but the foul committed by KW.
Isom had a decent performance last night, 33 minutes of court time. He had 16 points, Johnny. He was 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Shaking your head at that last possession is John Van Houweling, and oh my word, trying to reverse jam it down was Effigie, but he couldn't light the lamp. Jackson receives the nifty pass from Burns.
I saw that one coming. Waiting and waiting.
Burns had 8 assists last night.
He's the assist leader in the league, right? So he's just waiting for Jackson to cut through down the middle. Nobody picked him up on KW. Now Jackson, this is the second game in a row we see him shooting up some threes. He's not looking real confident tonight with it. This is a great play here. Good cut to the basket, good control, great pass. But he's struggling with the three-pointer. I don't know. I think he should do what he's doing there.
I agree.
Get inside.
Absolutely.
Go to the hoop. You got the ball, take your man off. He's great with the ball. He's got a great dribble, great handle. And I don't know, play a little bit inside, mix it up a bit, now, then go outside.
I'm just throwing this out there. If I had to go through 2 Achilles ruptures, though, maybe I'm a little more tentative to go down in the trenches.
Yep,
just a little bit.
Yep, that's why you got to give a little bit of grace there, right? And he's also, I know Coach Plum is doing, not playing him the crazy amount of minutes. Good steal there.
Wow, careless basketball by the Titans. Can Isom make them pay? He can't right here. Rebounding the ball there was Jonathan Williams. Kindred for 3. Won't go down. Audie tapped this out of bounds, though. It'll be Titans' ball. So you see Williams on the court right now. He's a Southfield, Michigan native. He was at Toledo for 4 years, John. He spent 96 games, started out of 131, had 3,600 minutes of court time for the Rockets, as they're known.
Is that what they're called? Cool.
So the aforementioned Williams gets the ball to his teammate here, and Jalen Hayes, the ball rattles around and goes down for the Lansing, Michigan native.
See, again, look at that. Another I was already looking at the stats. They had 4 turnovers in the first 3 minutes.
They had 9 in the opening quarter last
so
night.
That's a disturbing trend to see. But they've only given up 2 points off of it, which is lucky for London. But again, that trend continuing again. Passes that are getting deflected, stolen.
And I remember last night they had 9 turnovers in the opening quarter, but the points off of turnovers was just 6-4 in favor of the Sudbury Five after 12 minutes.
It could have been more of a blowout, right, if they had converted more.
The game started off 16-2 for Sudbury, John, and you and I thought it could have been 25-2 at some point.
That's exactly right. That's a moving screen. Yeah.
So Isom getting off to a little bit of a rocky start here on your Thursday night.
You can't run through as a screener. You got to be set, and the defender's got to come into you. Is that his third foul already?
I believe so.
Oh my goodness! I know it's 2 for sure. I know. If it's 3, then that's a big impact on the sub rotation.
Edwards and his teammate working together here in Hayes. That's Williams being guarded by Isom.
Well, you see how much closer the defenders are tonight for London to the person with the ball. Last night they were always a step off, right? And you had time to line up here at the 3-point line. You can't breathe because London's right on you.
Isom was stripped of it, but they're saying that the Titans touched it. I'm not 100% sure of that call. But again, the official was right there.
Yeah, he was in good position to see it. So
there's 30.3 seconds left on the Budweiser clock here on your Thursday night in the opening quarter of play. London looking to expand on their 4-point lead. Remember, they trailed by 16 points last night after the opening quarter play. A little bit different of a story. Lard couldn't get that pass to Jackson. It's another turnover.
I like the 2 bigs, though. 1 high, 1 low. And that, in this case, Jackson darted in behind again. It was just a pass that was a little too much mustard on it, if you like that analogy.
I relish the thought when we can catch up later, John.
I was waiting for that. Very good, yeah.
Shot clock's been turned off. Into the front court are the Titans. Stuck on his pivot foot is Aquino. 1 second left. A half-court heave hits the scoreboard. How many points is that worth, John? Well, Jalen Hayes is stuck at 2.
Well, if he didn't do any damages, it's worth nothing. But if he damages, it's going to cost him.
So after 12 minutes of play, the London Lightning are enjoying a 4-point lead, much different than the 16-point deficit that they faced in last night's game 24 hours ago.
Yes, they're willing a little more tonight to be physical contact, mix it up, stay close to the man with the ball. Still 5 turnovers is a bit concerning to have in 1 quarter, right? Only 2 for KW.
Well, in KW, when they won 113-111 back on Sunday versus the Lightning, they shot 55.7% as a team. They made 49 out of 88 shots. So far, after 12 minutes of play, they've made 6 of 26. That's 23.1%. In fact, to go one further for you, John, they made 7 of 20 shots from beyond the arc. That's 35% in that win versus London. They're 1 of 10 to start this game so far here on your Thursday evening.
Yeah, so I see a little more, willingness to mix it up and stay close to your man from London tonight, which is their identity as a franchise has been. We talked about it last night. We talked about it before. We know that's Doug Plum's mantra, right? I want them to play 100%. We want to outwork every team. We want to play better defense than every team in the league. And they did last year. They won a championship with it. Up till 2 games ago, they were doing it as well.
Got a riddle for you, John. Cliff Clinkscales, Bill Jones, Logan Stutz. What do they all have in common?
Oh, my.
American coaches here in the National Basketball League, meaning that your defending coach of the year is the lone Canadian head coach in the NBLC. In fact, if you include Michael Provenzano and Dave Sewell, they're assistant coaches who are all Canadian as well. They're the only all-Canadian coaching staff in this league. You combine that with the fact that with Terry Thomas out of the lineup tonight from East Preston, Nova Scotia, there are still another 5 Canadians on this team. Audie, Jackson, Lufiel, Nuga, and Alita, with potentially Jermaine Haley from British Columbia coming back into the fold later this month. But it's truly, one thing to play in a league that has Canada in it. It's another thing to have Canadian content, and that's what the London Lightning bring to the table.
Absolutely.
So the Titans just waiting for the kids to get off the court.
There are
Remember,
a lot of kids there. Wow.
It's a tradition after the first quarter of play to get all the kids out there, and I'm noticing some of them wore their shoes still. I thought they had to take their shoes off.
Most of them don't have their shoes on.
Yeah,
right?
there's usually a pile of shoes in the corner, but some of them,
you're right.
Get your muddy things off of that.
Yeah, that's right. Most of them all running around back over there having fun. Look at that.
A true team effort by London. They're up by 4 here, John.
There are a bunch of shoes in that corner. See them? They're all racing their back to their shoes.
Audie 4, Lard 4, Lance Adams 3, Jackson 3, Lufiel 2, Burns 2, and Nuga added a point. So you had literally 7 different scores combined for the 19 points in the opening quarter of play. You change that over the Titan side. Akano had 9 of the opening 15 points. Hayes, Walker, and Poole each have a bucket each. London couldn't capitalize on their first opportunity here in the second quarter, and the leading point getter on the court right now, Akano, tries to add to it. He's complaining that he was clapped on his forearm, but he's going to have to rush back and play defense instead.
I really like it when Jackson handles the ball and creates or gets to the hoop.
Sort of a hesitation floater that time by Burns, and I'm wondering if that hesitation threw the shot off. Cliff Clinkscale's noticing on the sidelines, trying to encourage his team to push the pace and to get in London's zone sooner. Hayes, open wing 3, rims out. Loose change goes to Tyran Walker. They'll get another 14 seconds. Far wing 3, won't go this time for Akano. Hayes is stripped of it from the smaller Burns, who's going to turn the tide the other way. Pushes it up to Mike Nuga. Yes.
Yes. That's the way it should be played. Push the ball up, make the early pass, shoot in rhythm.
So sort of what the Titans coach was wanting, he just saw happen against him.
Well, he had two good open looks, like they had it. They just didn't bury him.
You're taking a look back at the Mike Nuga 3. Trying to retaliate now are the Titans, but they can't do so here. It's Jonathan Williams. Shot not going down, but back on defense the other way. Get that weak stuff out of here, says Edwards.
I don't think he saw him, Nuga. Came from way behind.
Edwards with authority, and like you said, he came from the blind side, and, well, rejection is an understatement.
So they got 2 bigs on here if you're looking at London. They got Lard and Johnson, right? Now Walker, of course, is the lone big for KW on the other side. He's matched up against Lard down underneath. We saw this early in the game, see if Lard can capitalize again. Good head fake. Unable to convert, but he had the open shot.
And Cliff Clinkscale's again looking down the court, encouraging his team to rush the pace. But as they do that, John, a turnover is created. Audie using his speed back the other way. The first block of the night from our boy Tyran Walker. Remember, last night, John Stradamus came out and said that Dexter Williams Jr. was going to have 15 points and 9 rebounds. He didn't get the 9 rebounds, but he did get 16 points. Before this game, I went over to Tyran and said, "You got 7 blocks in you tonight?" He said, "We'll see."
7 blocks.
Well,
wow.
That's 1.
Yes, it is. That's a lot.
A lot of game left, John. You know I love the blocks. So Kano, again, 3 of 6 from the field so far in this game. The turnaround J is good.
The toughest shot of the night goes in for him.
Yeah, he was 0 of 2 from the field, but you're right. His toughest shot so far on your Thursday goes in for Kearns for his opening bucket. Titans still trail by 5 here on the road. In fact, London was trailing 24-20 in the first quarter when they played the Titans the last time, but did lead 53-52 at the halftime break. Jackson actually had that go off of his foot. I'm surprised that wasn't called a kick ball, John.
No, there's no intent to kick, so.
Mike Poole's fouled by Audie as he got into the London zone. And looks like Lance Adams is about to come into this game with Elijah Lufiel. So again, going back to that 113-111 contest on Sunday in Kitchener where the Titans pulled out the victory, the Titans' difference was their 33-point third quarter. So despite whatever they do in this opening half, you know, keep an eye on how they come out of the gate because they really made an adjustment the last time they played London. Mike Poole with the inbound, guarded by Burns. Stop, pop, and lock it right over Burns. And I believe Poole has something to say in London's direction.
It looks like it's heating up a little, doesn't it?
Well, his team's only trailing now by 3. There's 9 minutes left before the halftime break. A little too hot to handle right away for Adams. He'll settle it down for Jackson. Jackson being guarded fiercely by Hayes. The whistle goes.
What was that call? I thought Jackson was doing the right thing. Instead of settling for the 3-pointer, he was taking on his man. But I don't know what that call was. It looked like it might be shot clock. Excuse me, shot clock. It looks like they're talking to the score table, and I don't know if the shot clock's going to get adjusted or not.
Well, talking with the scores table, I joked about what happened in the end of the first half last night when London had 3.5 seconds that quickly turned into 6 or 9 seconds because the clock never stopped. Well,
yeah,
Sudbury
it's down to 11 seconds, the shot clock. See,
Sudbury walking off the court during that was like, cheaters, cheaters. It literally, there was 0-point swing out of that.
Yes. It's a good thing the ball didn't go in the basket. I don't know what the refs would have done.
Yeah, well, it definitely created some confusion. But they did the right thing. They just said, hey, we're going to the halftime break.
Yeah, that's right. So the shot clock got adjusted from 17 seconds down to 11. Down to 5 seconds left in the shot clock.
Burns, long distance two, hits the front of the rim. Turning the tide is Kearns with his second rebound of the game. Kicks it over to Poole, who's going after Adams. Travel
we call it
is
travel.
the call.
Oh, my. I thought that was a good play. I did not see the travel on that one.
Cliff Clinkscales again played 7 seasons in this league, and I'm loving how he's just sort of feeling out the officials down there on his sidelines. He's not getting teed up.
I think he knows them all personally.
He's not getting teed up like certain coaches we know, John.
Okay, Jackson's up top here.
And you see Elijah Lufield trying to go down low into the office. Perimeter passing right now by the Lightning. It
I like this.
down to
That's
6.
going to be a foul, yes. And he converts as well.
And one for Jackson.
I think he can do that. If that's his first go-to kind of move, and then settle for the jump shots or the 3 points after that when the defender is off you and you're shooting in rhythm. But he can overmatch. For a big guy, he's got a great handle on him. When I say handle, I mean dribble.
In the last game versus the KW Titans, he was 5 of 6 from the charity stripe during his 27 minutes of court time.
I think he's going to play a bigger and bigger role as the season goes on.
He's now 1 of 3 from the line after that shot, John.
Mm-hmm.
So a 5-point lead. Not a lot of offense from either team so far on your Thursday night, John.
It's been a defensive titanic struggle.
It's Poole trying to ice that situation down.
That's 2 now he's done like that. Great turnaround shot.
Mike Poole, shooting guard, a Rosedale, New York native, went to Iona, actually, John. He played 3 years at Rutgers. They're known as the Red Scarlets.
I believe they're in the tournament this year. Isn't that the Rick Pitino?
That's right.
Yeah, Rick Pitino.
Then they transferred to Iona. They're known as the Gales. And in total, in his NCAA career, he had over 2,500 minutes and 721 points split between the Red Scarlet and the Gales. But as I mentioned before, his experience with Halifax, John, 152 games in a Halifax uniform between 2016 and 2019, almost just 15 minutes shy of 4,000 minutes in a Halifax uniform.
So some longevity there is what you're saying.
That's right. So shout-outs to Abendigo, shout-outs to Chadrick. Those are the brothers of Elijah Lufield, who all play basketball. Unfortunately, Elijah can't make this last shot. His brother, Abendigo, is an NBLC champion with the London Lightning last year. 7.5 to go here before the halftime break. The spin around 2 is the back of the rim by Mike Poole, and it's Isom pulling away with the rock to Audie. Audie utilizing his speed, puts on his brakes. They kick it around to Nuga, back to Adams. There was such fluidity, and all of a sudden it stalled out a little bit there, John. Audie trying to change that, gracefully plays this in, but it won't go in.
I don't know. I think more players should use the backboard on that kind of angle. That's a tough little floater to have it just.
That's the fundamentals of basketball, is it not, John, to use the backboard?
Yeah, that's what Mr. Fundamental Tim Duncan from the Spurs was so good at, right? That's why I really admired him.
Kearns was trying to get a pass to his teammate in Hayes. But again, I mean, going off of your earlier comment, didn't look like there was an intent, but it did go off of a London boot, and then they changed possession as a result.
Yeah, and again, a good fast break there. The ball was pushed quickly, and the ball was given up quickly as well. Allowed Audie to get that angle at full stride.
So remember, I keep hammering this point last time as we take a look at this last play. Adams with a nice ditch to Audie.
Yeah, see, if he had dribbled 1 or 2 more times, Audie would not have had the speed or the angle to go to the hoop. So that was great timing to release the pass.
Kitchener so far on your Thursday night shooting 25.7% from the field. That's not even half as good as they did in the last game against the Lightning, where they shot 55.7% over 4 quarters of basketball.
Still a tight game, 26-21. You're right about low scoring.
Well, both teams are absolutely dreadful. If I need to re-brick my farm, I'll bring these two teams out to shoot 3 balls right now.
That's a little harsh, Johnny.
No,
Come
they're
on.
a combined
I'm gonna
3
say,
for 23. That's god-awful, John.
if you want a defense contractor, that's what's going on with
Okay,
both
all
teams, right?
So we're going to credit it to defense for poor perimeter shooting. As the
every
Titans,
shot is contested. Yeah.
that is true. And like you mentioned it, hitting the bullseye, John, especially in the paint. We didn't see that from the Lightning against the Sudbury 5 last night.
Nope.
But again, 8.3% from downtown. 1 of 12 are the Titans so far. That's a big difference, John. They're down by 4. They've missed 11 3-balls so far. That must have been deflected as Nuga never even hit the rim. Akano, by the way, still leading everybody on the court with 9 points, despite the fact that he hasn't even scored here in the second quarter of play.
Good observation. That's a foul. That's Kindred going to the basket.
So if that's against Isom, they're going to say now that's his 3rd foul of the game.
Okay. I knew for sure he had 2. I wasn't sure where the 3rd one had come from, but now there's a 3rd there. Tough cover on Kindred.
And it looks like a timeout is called down on the court. So a 4-point lead here for the London Lightning. As I mentioned, they're coached by Doug Plum. Plum actually spent the last 3 years of his college career with the UBC Thunderbirds, as they're known, out in British Columbia. And he earned a second-team Canadian Inter-University Sport back when it was called the CIS, All-Canadian, and first-team Canada West honors after winning the conference title in 2013. Doug actually would go off and play professionally in both Hungary and Romania before becoming an assistant coach. Where, John? Here in London, Ontario.
That's right, yeah.
And it was actually a fellow Lightning league-winning head coach in Kyle Julius in 2016-2017 that brought Doug Plum into the fret. 2017 came around, and actually Doug would go off to become an assistant coach with the St. John's Edge and eventually their head coach. But when the opportunity came to become the bench boss for the Lightning, he said, sure, why not? And no biggie, he just won the title and your coach of the year in the process.
And he was here during the COVID year as well, right?
That's right.
That was a very chopped up year, and then ended abruptly.
That year, because of COVID, they technically say that London was the conference champions. Because remember, there was 2 conferences. Moncton, the Magic, are now defunct, sadly. They were leading the Atlantic Conference, and London was leading essentially what you would call the Ontario Conference at that point. So they gave them conference titles out of that COVID-stricken year. You're pretty much saying, I don't care about any of that, John. I don't even remember that season.
No, it was yes, exactly. Ended abruptly as well, right?
It still counts in the record books, John.
Yeah, it counts for statistics, yeah, but I don't know if they should have awarded anything.
Well, trust me, I would say that about most professional sports. I think everything that happened in the bubble in both hockey and basketball should have a giant asterisk next to it and shouldn't be counted towards the same thing as a Michael Jordan or a Mark Messier type performance on them.
I see.
Yeah, come on, man. Those don't count. And even the Tampa Bay Lightning in hockey, I think they almost had a chance at the three-peat, John, but 2 of those came in the bubble format. I mean, for Pete's sakes, they played the Montreal Canadiens in one final, and they're both from the Eastern Conference. Anyways, enough hockey on your Thursday.
Are you still sad about Canada getting eliminated from baseball?
Yeah.
I thought they played great, though.
Columbia lost 3-2. By the way,
that was a close game.
If Columbia had won 3-2, Canada would have advanced.
That's right.
Burns, 3-ball, won't go down. And it's Kindred, your former, I guess defending, I should say.
Defending, yes.
Season MVP, going from defense to offense, and the one-hander's good.
We saw that last year. I don't know how many times. You got to stop him at the point of dribble. You can't let him get in the three-point line.
And that really got the KW bench jacked up as Kindred, again, born in Raleigh, North Carolina, and went to St. Augustine's College in Raleigh. Really has made his name with the KW Titans, but playing in his first game in the 2023 season here on your Thursday night. Burns zigzagging his way through. They're going to say he was fouled. By the way, for all the fans of Burns out there, especially with March Madness going on, simply go to YouTube and type in Jordan Burns March Madness highlights. There's something to watch.
Is there?
Oh, I mean, some great ball handling skills and shot selections. A great highlight reel. And it shows you, again, a lot of the players, not just in the Lightning uniform, but in Titans uniform too, have had a taste of March Madness in their day.
They played, a lot of them played at Division I. You got to give them the ball early. It's going to be, is that going to be called 3 seconds? I do believe so.
So Kindred, by the way, just to give you an example, actually,
Clinkscale thought that was going to be a foul call on the big guy, but it was a 3 and a key call by Stellick.
in Clinkscale's final season with the Halifax Hurricanes, it was actually Joel Kindred's first season in this league. He spent 2 seasons with Halifax and, in fact, actually played with the Guelph Nighthawks in the CEBL for a brief stint. He started all 25 games last season and averaged 36.8 minutes of court time, did Kindred. Enough about him, though, John, as it is his teammate in Lightfoot getting the 2 points.
And the lead, 28-27. London's dried up on the offense. See if the sharpshooter can make a difference. He does. Lance Adams, that's what he's there. Spot up, give me the ball. I'm going to shoot it as quick as a wink, and then it was.
Before that Adams 3 ball, the Titans had outshot the Lightning 13-8 to start this second quarter of play after trailing 19-15 after 12 minutes. It's almost a completely different ball game, if you will, John, here on your Thursday night than we saw less than 24 hours ago.
It just feels way more competitive. It feels like the players are like last night. Sudbury, I felt, was really the only team that was playing hard all game. Every player, every possession, they were fighting for everything.
I'll italic that point, John. In fact, they were the only team playing basketball, period, for the first 3 minutes and 58 seconds because that's how long it took London to get their opening point. Came via goaltending.
You know, and it happens, right? A team sometimes comes out flat, and you don't get a spark from somebody, and then the whole game is like that. This is what I like by Jackson. No foul call that time, but that's why our cameraman.
But just to clarify, you like the play, not the shot.
Yeah, the shot. I thought maybe he had earned a foul on it, but he's going to get a lot of fouls if he keeps doing that, right? He's going to get fouled a lot.
You couldn't have set him up any worse if you had tried, John.
But I love that he's going to the hoop.
I love
that
what
mentality.
he's doing. Shoots it off the shot clock.
Yeah, okay.
3:50 remains.
You're missing the whole point here.
I know what you're getting at, John.
He's not settling for a jump shot.
What I'm getting at is this is a low-scoring affair.
He's not settling for a jump shot. He's going in willing to take the contact. There he goes, running again hard.
There's Cameron Lard, and they're saying getting his hand in the cookie jar was Jalen Hayes.
Lard is a low down there, especially if you can't match up with him for size.
Hayes can match up with him, though, John. Lard is 6'9". Hayes is 6'7".
Well, it does not look like it when it was down there.
Ooh. Hayes, you can send your complaints to John Van Halen.
Well, I guess if you can establish such deep position like Lard did, then you're always overmatched, right?
That's true. Hayes, by the way, is going to take a bit of a breather. He spent 5 years at Oakland, which is an NCAA Division I school, started 118 of 134 games. They're known as the Golden Grizzlies. Not just Grizzlies, they're Golden Grizzlies.
Yeah, there's brown Grizzlies, black Grizzlies, gray Grizzlies,
I've
silver
never
Grizzlies.
seen a Golden Grizzly in my life.
They're like the blonde, like the albino, right?
Okay.
No, I don't think that's
that's
not true.
That's a polar bear.
Oh, and Adams again spots up the start. He is giving a shot of injection in the offense here. London up by 5. They were down by 1, and a block by Lard that time. Coming over the top of his own player.
Adams is a perfect 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. He's now tied with Sam McCano of the Titans for most points in this game with 9. Interesting to note, Lance Adams has missed 1 shot so far in this game. That was a 2-ball selection. As it is Cameron Lard, like you were just mentioning, on that rejection. But KW still keeps the ball. Effichet to Lightfoot. Butterfingers, but collects it. Battles against Lard, tries to put the one hand over Lard, can't get it to go. Jackson recovers the ball.
Oh, that's across the basket. Oh, my goodness. That is such a low percentage, easy steal pass.
The rookie of the year, Shaquan Barrett, feeds a teammate. They plinko around for the ball, and Audie manages to commandeer it away from Edwards. Burns back to Audie, 2 to the tin.
Push it, what they're doing. Got Sudbury battling for all the rebounds. Looked like everybody had committed for the offensive rebound. Nobody back on defense.
I love this give and go between Burns and Audie. Audie so far 8 points in the game. Adams, or I apologize, I should say Burns, already 8 assists in this game, and we're not at the halftime break. London starting to, pull away a little bit over this last minute or so. The lead's up to 7, and Lard, easy peasy. Oh, wait a minute, hold the phone.
Holding foul on the ground before he was putting a shot up, and Doug Plum's way at half on the court. He might get teed up if he keeps talking.
Listen, Doug Plum, I think, wants to continue to play. I don't think he wants to be a coach, all right? And the amount of times he's actually on the court where the players are playing, by the way, is mind-boggling.
Well, the ref called it, but he got fouled and held before he made his move to the basket for the shot.
Didn't you tell me that those lines are supposed to mean something on the side of the court?
They are, yes.
Oh, okay.
The referees are being...
Well, I'm noticing we see Cliff Kinsale's in the screen. See, his feet are behind the line.
Yeah, he's towing the line. How's that?
Oh, well, I mean, he's only played 7 years in this league. He knows how to stick to one side of the line or the other.
He wants to get off to a good start in the league, I'm thinking.
Yeah, actually, good point, John. So the 7-point lead. Adams from distance.
Oh, that was a heat check.
The first time he's missed from beyond the arc here on your Thursday.
That was a heat check. Wasn't there a video game that had that? Yeah.
Well, you would have NBA Jam where the guy would catch on fire.
Yeah, he's on fire. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, I remember that. My boys playing that.
And
game.
the guys, if you dunk, they would leave the screen temporarily. I like that too. I don't know if we're going to see that in real life, John.
Oh, that was a travel.
On Shaquan Barrett.
Yeah, he did a little hop step there.
Poole pulls up for three. It won't go down. Audie with another rebound, John. For a guy of his size, I didn't expect him to have 5 before half.
He's just working very hard out there. He's got natural quickness. He's got great hops as well, but he's just working hard.
Burns flushes the 2-ball down.
Every night, all night.
So he's 2 of 7 now from the field, though, John. He's got those 7 assists, or 8 assists, I should say, but he's only got 4 points so far in the opening half of play. Less than 90 seconds to go before the recess break. And the KW Titans get lucky as this bounced off the top of the backboard, allowing their teammate to get the offensive rebound. But unfortunately, he's going to go to the line, I guess. Elijah Effigy, the Prairie View and A&M product.
I think the foul is on Elijah Lufil against Effigy. What, some tough names here tonight.
But the second the KW Titans tasted the lead, whatever adjustments Doug Plum made have been paying off in spades because the Titans have gone flat.
Yes. Good ball movement, and then somebody got hot. Mr. Adams got hot because he's in the right place at the right time, and their teammates are feeding him so he can shoot in rhythm.
Effigy, who broke into this league with the Windsor Express, misses the first from the line. Walker stepped in. I agree with Burns down there going, that's a violation, and Rich Stelks tried to plead his case, saying, maybe I didn't see it in time. And Burns saying, I don't care if you didn't see it, still a violation. I couldn't agree with him more, John.
I hear you, so.
The officials are human, too. That's the point you were supposed to make there, John. You're supposed to always be their friend.
Yes, I am.
Burns from distance.
I think he's trying to get a 2-for-1 possession there. That's why he took that long shot.
So driving up the court, not being able to get it to go, but Edwards got his own rebound back, and he'll be fouled.
Still not in the bonus yet. It'll be KW ball in the end.
So as I mentioned about Edwards, he's also another Halifax Hurricane. So you talk about Mike Poole, Edwards, and I'm trying to look further on my list here. There's another player on their team. There's 3 players in total that all played for the Halifax Hurricanes with their then teammate, now head coach, Cliff Clinkscales. And talking with Cliff before the game, he talked about the importance of bringing in guys he can trust and know that they know the system and can play basketball.
Yeah, he was a very heads-up, smart player as well. So I'm sure he's looking for that.
Getter.
Yeah, well, he sees the floor well and shares the ball, right?
And I joked with him that too. Are you putting more emphasis on sharing the ball? And he said, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing is caring, John, and especially in this sport.
Well, I mean, basketball is also a game of runs, right? So if somebody's hot, like a Lance Adams, keep giving him the ball till he misses, and then let's go back to our offense.
Burns' first shot from the charity stripe on your Thursday night is good. He was 4 of 5 from the line in that 113-102 loss last night to the 5. Half a minute to go here in the second quarter. The Canadian Shaquan Barrett leaves it there for Poole. They go over to the far side, and that's got to be a travel on Effigy. He was trying to sell it off as a power step, but by then he had already taken his 3rd step in the process.
He needed to do one more dribble in that hop, and then it would have been good.
By the way, the lead's been extended to 10 now, double digits for the Lightning.
Yeah, really, this last 2.5 minutes after KW took the lead.
Nuga gets it into the front court. There's about 1 second between the shot clock and the game clock.
Got the mismatch. He's got the mismatch.
But Shaquan Barrett picks the pocket of Cameron Lard. And as a result, trying to play this one off the rim. I think they were trying to alley-oop it to Effigy. It allows Nuga to put it in as the buzzer goes to conclude the first half of action. Mike Nuga makes it 41-29, a 12-point lead. And remember, just a couple minutes ago in the game action, the Titans were enjoying a taste of the lead, John.
Yes, I was just watching the end of that play right here. Look at this. Why is there not a foul call there? Oh, okay. No real actual contact. I thought maybe he had got banged into.
So again, for the KW Titans, we mentioned in the keys of the game, brought to you by thestable.ca, lucky number 113. Well, John, they have 29 points at the halftime break. Scratching my head at whether they can make 113 tonight.
That'd be tough with only a half to go, but London's back to their defensive identity, right? And for the most part, KW has stayed with them stride for stride. Got down by 5, came up by 1, but the last 3 minutes have been all London Lightning. They pushed, put the pedal to the metal, and extended their lead.
Can you talk specifically about the defense, though? In the paint, we're seeing a lot more pressure put on opponents trying to get those easy 2 points.
Well, last night, like not only in the paint, but when a ball handler had the ball last night against Sudbury, the defender was always seemed to be a step off, like sort of waiting, what are you going to do?
And they didn't even put their hand up in their face.
No, and so those, just token defense. Tonight, everybody is willing to be up in the grill, either on the three-point line or in, banging it up down inside, and knowing that their teammates can help them if they do get beat off the dribble or get beat up.
The Lightning were on a 9-game winning streak here in 2023. That was snapped by the Titans last Sunday, and a 30% worth of shooting right there.
There are numbers out there. I'm not going to quote them, but percentages do go down when shots are contested. Of course they are. You got to make it with somebody really close to you, or a hand in your face, or you got to make it a fadeaway, right? We saw a few fadeaways go in, as a matter of fact, but like we're saying, they're tough shots. Percentages go down when they're tough shots.
So put yourself in the position of clink scales, though. Your team is trailing by 12, and you did have a taste of the lead, albeit for a cup of coffee in the second quarter of play. What do you do here in the second half to turn the tide into your favor and make it 2 wins in a row? Remember, this is a team starting late in 2023 and is already behind the black ball when you consider they got a 2-6 record out of the gate.
Well, I'm going to say 41 points, allowing only 41 points would be pretty good defense on a normal night. Getting only 29 points on offense is terrible. It's not for lack of effort, but I think what they got away from was some of their roots of what they do as an identity as a team.
So Walker engages with Lard, and Walker can't make Lard pay. The loose change rolls to Cameron, who feeds Burns up the court.
And what I'm saying is that Sam Acano needs to be more featured along with the new one.
Burns,
the new old one.
Looking to add to his 6 points, and he couldn't do it here. London gets a fortuitous bounce through Cameron Lard, and they get a fresh 14 seconds to utilize. Audie strolls into the paint, stuck on his pivot foot. One hand's up, and it's good.
Lobs it over the 7-footer. That is definitely the shortest and tallest, I think, isn't it? Unless Nuga's a little shorter.
Well, and especially with Tyran Walker, he is our player to watch in a Titans uniform. But so far on the defensive side of the ball, John, it hasn't been an easy night for the Wake Forest product. Mike Poole rattles this one down.
That's got to be the third time he's done that fadeaway turnaround jumper in your face.
And hasn't been all that successful, although he is 4 of 8 from the field here tonight. He had 6 points in the opening 24 minutes.
I think if we do that difficulty factor or quotient or ratio, he's winning that one.
Have you caught any of the J.J. Redick, Kendrick Perkins controversy with the supposed racism in the NBA MVP race?
No.
So essentially Kendrick was saying that, they only gave it to Jokic, Dirk Nowitzki, and Steve Nash based off of most of the NBA voters are white. That's what Kendrick Perkins was trying to say. So J.J. Redick actually just perfectly demasculated him in a broadcast saying, well, here's the actual analytics, here's the actual stats, and this is why Jokic is an MVP.
He should be again this year. How there's any doubt about it?
And it was funny because, again, all Kendrick Perkins is trying to say is that, well, Embiid's averaging more points per game and more rebounds per game, but actually, if you look at the facilitating of the ball, Jokic is 5th in the league in making his teammates shoot better.
To me, anybody who's watching the game will say, would you want Embiid or you want Jokic? No brainer.
It was a silly comment by Perkins, but I thought J.J. Redick, who's a former NBA player, they're both former NBA
Redick's
players.
Former Duke player, as a matter of fact. So,
as they're getting the foul here, I think that's going against Kearns, as Walker was late to the party on Isom. But again, you claim something like that so foolishly. And then it was funny how Reddick was able to respond in kind with actual statistics and actual facts to back up his point.
Those analytics are out there to get, right? So we'll have a look at those first, maybe.
Well, Reddick actually pointed out in the NBA, this is something nice we could get here one day in the NBLC, is that a company called Spectrum has put in cameras all around every NBA court over the last 10 seasons, and they're actually analytic-based cameras that all they do is pick up statistical information about the players on the court. Teams then utilize that in their analytics in their video room.
Well, they're doing that at the college level as well, right? And here in Ontario, my son coaches the Redeemer Royals women's team, and so they subscribe to a service like that. So after the game, he gets the game tape, but it's already broken down. How many times did you handle the ball? How many times did you steal it? How many times did you fumble it? How many times did you score? I should say that pumped you up a bit, you know. So I didn't mean to pick on you, but he uses as invaluable information to decide, you know, what does this team need to work on.
Mike Nuga, where there's a will, there's a way, denied originally and comes back at it. By the way, the Reading Royals, you said their name is?
The Redeemer Royals.
Redeemer Royals, so they are the Royals.
They're called the Royals,
Ooh.
Yeah. Redeemer University.
Your son's royalty.
Yes, I guess he is.
10 seconds left on the shot clock. The Titans do trail here by 16 points, John, with 9:10 remaining in the third quarter. And they lose the ball here, yes or no? They're calling kickball against London.
Well, a little scrambling here to start the quarter. It looks like London's coming out with a little more energy, extended the lead to 16 points here.
5. A full sail change on the court for Cliff Klingscale. So whatever he thought he was getting out of the gate to start the second half, he didn't like it in the opening 2:54.
That's
5 off, 5 on.
Message, isn't it?
We actually used to see, at least in the 2022 season, John, Doug Plum do that quite a bit with the London Lightning, but he almost had 2 squads in his full roster.
He was that deep, to be honest with you. Yeah, and that was a sort of early to the midpoint of the season until he finally settled on his starting rotation and his rotation on subs. But yeah, he had a wealth of talent that he could go basically 2 lines deep until the other team started catching up, you know, in their ability to compete and picking up some players.
So I'm sure Lightning fans are tired of me telling you this, but again, a 16-2 start for the Sudbury Five last night. In fact, it took till 3 minutes and 58 seconds into the game for London to score their opening bucket. They ended up trailing 32-16 after 12 minutes of play. You fast forward 24 hours from then, though, John, they outscore the Titans 19-15, leading. They gave up 32 points in the opening quarter. They only gave up 15 tonight in the opening quarter. They couple that by holding them down to 14 points in the second quarter, just 29 total points at halftime. Remember, they gave up 32 in the opening quarter last night.
Yep, they came with their hard hats on tonight.
8:50 remains here in the third quarter of play. Burns pulls up a 3. It won't go, and at least shooting-wise so far tonight, Burns hasn't been on cue. He's 2 of 11 from the field, 0 of 5, John, from downtown. He does have 8 assists, though, which he's so crafty at. The Kitchener native, Jawan Miller, couldn't get it to go. Easy peasy, though, on the rebound for his teammate. The 2 points is good, and it's the opening points of the game, by the way, for Edwards.
Yeah, KW's got to keep that in this range here, 10 to 12 points. Start chipping away at this lead. They can't let it get extended.
Edwards was 0 for 5 from the field before finally making that last shot. Nuga is rejected from the rim. He's now 1 of 5 from downtown and 3 of 9 from the field.
I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that 3-point shot. Like, go inside, and then kick it out for the 3. Don't make the 3 your first option. I think that's what London's success has been tonight, has been going inside.
Now, can you explain this one to me? A jump ball was called at the court. Kitchener had the ball, but the possession arrow favors London.
Yeah, so it was a held ball, and possession arrow is London. So, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So I see a couple subs here. It looks like 2 bigs are in now, right? Did I see Justin come on the floor? Yeah. See him on there. And then I see the sharpshooter, Lance Adams, so he's a spot-up shooter. So I'm hoping that they go in and out on these kind of possessions.
Adams, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc for his 9 points so far in the game. And Lard quite upset at the end of this play.
I think he's getting called for the foul. He was trying to establish his position, but I don't think the foul is on him. I don't know why he's upset. It's going to be London ball.
If it's... Well, okay, if it's London ball, it's London ball. But if it was,
he thought the foul was on him, so he was losing it. But
well, what's funny
he was working hard keeping his position.
So did the scores table, John, actually, because Lard had 0 fouls. They put 1 foul up there. Technically, he's back at 0.
High screen. See if there's a roll here.
Marcus
Swing it to the
Audi,
outside.
10 points so far in this game, feeds a fellow Canadian, Mike Nuga. Nuga lost it, but got it back to Audi. Adams, nice pass to Lard. 2 hits the back of the backboard.
Yeah, the shot clock is running out on him. No time to go inside.
Kindred gets this ball from his teammate in Miller, goes into the near corner, but it's a give and go between him and Elijah Effiget. Elijah. You got 2 Elijahs, actually, when you consider there's an Elijah Lufield playing for the London Lightning. It's Miller time, though, for 2 points. And again, I love the story of Juwan Miller, a guy that actually is a Kitchener, Ontario native playing for his hometown team. He played 4 seasons at Missouri SNT. That's a Division II program.
Oh, okay, I was going to say Big Missouri that won today? Not that.
Not that
one.
Missouri.
Division II, okay.
We talked about this in the previous broadcast. Seems like every state in the United States has like 20 different programs within that state.
Yes, yeah, that's one thing you got to admire about the United States, right? Higher education is a priority. They put a lot of money into it. Every state, every town seems to have a college or a university, either Division I, II, III, or the community colleges. So education is huge.
Yes, that education's so huge for such a financial institution like the NCAA. They really care about the quality of education and not the financial compensation that comes out of such high athletics.
What I'm saying as a general statement is that in a democratic country like the United States, education has taken a priority. So there's been so many educational centers established. Now, of course, sports are part of that equation. To me, sports is always a great part of the equation for anybody that goes. My sons went to university. They played college ball. You know, it was a great building experience because you got to balance part-time work they're doing, playing basketball, and doing their schooling. What a life lesson that is, right?
There's an HBO documentary I would love you to watch called Student Athletes, which, well, I for better lack of a word, exposes the NCAA for what it truly is.
Well, NCAA is, yeah, I don't disagree. There are a lot of things that are not correct or
that are money-based.
Done correct, yeah, and there's money flow, but still that whole experience as a student, right?
No, you need it as a student,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So back to the basketball action here in the third quarter with 7 minutes remaining. It's Jackson at the top of the world, guarded by a fellow 5 in Lightwood.
All night.
Freezes right by him for 2.
I told you, man, that man's got a tight handle for such a big guy. He's so smooth. Said just use it to your advantage, and that time he sized him up. And he went it with his offhand as well.
But you want to see the Scarborough natives start penetrating the paint a bit more like that.
Yeah, either posting up or getting to the paint.
So Effiget, by the way, he's wearing number 12. Kindred's wearing 22. Kindred's number was 12, though, last year when he made the Titans go to the finals.
He should be giving that one up, I would think.
Maybe a steak dinner is on the horizon. Burns on a pivot foot, feeds Jackson. Again, guarded by Lightfoot, tries to exploit it, but Lightfoot gets the better half of the equation this time. Got it up court to Kindred. He'll be fouled by Burns.
Good foul.
Just the second foul of the game for Burns. In fact, as far as foul trouble is concerned so far in this game, Isom has 3. Jaquan Lightfoot for the Titans has 3, and that's about it.
I think Jackson jammed his hand when he dribbled one dribble too far into the key that time. I'm telling him to drive and get to the hoop, but you know what I'm saying.
And again, Jackson in the last game versus the Titans had 13 points. He was 3 of 9 from the field. Kindred with a nice little layup for 2.
He just ran right over Burns that time. I don't know if you saw that, but
Kindred was 1 of 4 before that shot. He's 0 of 3 from downtown. But
and a foul call. He was just a blur, Audie. My goodness. Wasn't there like a Merlene Audie was a sprinter for Canada.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think Marlene Audie, I think it was.
And Audie right now.
So I don't know if there's bloodlines in there, but he's definitely got the speed.
Well, he's sprinting out to the leading point getter on your Thursday night after pouring in 23 points in 38 minutes off the bench last night. He got into the starting 5 here on your Thursday, and so far he's got 12 points, leading everybody on the court. And maybe more importantly, John, 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. London is shooting a little bit better, though, when you consider they made 21 of 25 last night. That's 84%. And so far here tonight, they've made 10 of 14. Lightfoot, two-hand cram. Why doesn't he just do that every play? Zelita, corner 3. Won't go.
Oh, terrific offensive rebound by Lufield there.
Lufield beats out 2 Titans to the ball and gets his team another 14 seconds. Down to
stay under control.
5.
He's called a charge. I'm going to say stay under control. I could see that one happening. He was just not in control of that dribble. He didn't know what to do. Nobody was coming to take the ball from him.
Travel,
Somebody,
foul.
guard, come
It could have
over
been a
here,
little
guard.
bit of
Take
everything
the ball
there.
from me. And they left him isolated out there. His strength is in the middle, rebound and putbacks. Garbage time. Not dribbling the ball like that.
London still in control of this game, though, John. The double-digit lead continues from the opening half here into the second half of play. Remember,
it's not getting extended, though.
They held the Titans to just 29 points. They only scored 15 in the first, 14 in the second. Currently, with 5:30 remaining in the third quarter, the Titans have 12 points. And again, I don't think they're going to make it to lucky 1-1-3 here on your Thursday night, although there's still lots of basketball left. Miller trying to make me eat my words, John, as he gets 2.
That was just a nice screen set by his teammate. He just curled around the corner and did a nice little jump shot.
Adams trying to get open as Miller guarding fiercely up the court and allowing Burns to sort of hesitate here. Now it's Adams dictating the pace, crosses over to the near side and feeds Isom. The Austin, Texas native is fouled by a fellow 12 and Elijah Effigy.
Isom hustled to the ball. He came to the ball that time. That ball almost was a little too slow coming across the court. Last night there were a ton of steals on those. Tonight, 8 turnovers, 4 in each quarter for London Lightning, so a little better on the scoreline tonight.
Malik Isom did make a March Madness appearance during his 4 years at Little Rock. He did redshirt in his freshman year before transferring over to Texas in his senior year. Burns with the hook pass to Audie. Audie lost the handle, though, and Elijah Effigy through midcourt finds his teammate in Kindred. Open 3, his first make from beyond the arc on your Thursday. He's now got 8 points, John.
Leads down to 6.
Audie and London trying to respond. It's Isom battling a fellow 12, kicking it out to Audie. Audie stuck on a pivot foot to Alita. Alita to Burns running into traffic. Titans playing some great defense on this possession, but as I say that, it breaks down, and Elijah Lofiel with the hammer.
Good things happen when Burns gets to the foul line off the dribble. Good things happen.
Elijah Lofiel now 5 points in this game, and again, a great apple and the two-hand cram from Lofiel as there's a foul here as Lightfoot was trying to respond in kind.
Lightfoot, I love that guy. Gordon Lightfoot? Oh, no, sorry, that's the singer.
It's Jaquan Lightfoot.
Yes, I know.
Close enough.
Gordy's my favorite singer of all time, so Gordon Lightfoot.
Lightfoot, by the way, is a Brooklyn, New York native that went to Trinity Valley Collegiate College. That's an NJCAA Division I school where he played in 28 games and averaged 6.7 points per contest.
Well, he certainly had made his mind up to get to the hoop that time. Complete power move, spin, almost dunked it as well until he got fouled. Well, this lineup's doing a lot better than the other lineup, and they're staying on the floor, are they not? So Klinkscale had something up his sleeve. He said, okay, all 5 of you off. So there's, I think, his first substitution coming in for this lineup.
The Titans were 6 of 8 from the charity stripe coming into this quarter, but Lightfoot misses his first from the line, trying to go 50% here, and he does. So as a team, they are now 7 of 9, shooting 70% from the freebies.
I'm just looking around at the stadium, too. Like, the seats have filled in since the beginning of the first quarter when we first looked. Look at how they all filled in. Good crowd again today.
Yeah, typical London crowd arriving fashionably late.
I think it's something like that, yes. But they're here, and they're getting loud.
Burns trying to separate away from Miller. He'll be rejected by Lightfoot.
He's definitely light off his feet that time. He got way up there. Come on, I gotta have some puns. You're full of them. So,
as we say that, the block party plays a factor.
Except it's not the block master doing it.
Yeah, Tyran Walker was your defending NBLC Defender of the Year, and he had over 70 blocks. Now, interesting.
Got the shot off in time, hit the rim. So, and the rebound got put back. So
once it hits the rim, they had the fresh 14 seconds. They needed all of half a second to put it back in. That deflects off of Audie and out of bounds.
He is everywhere, Audie, is he not?
Just as the Titans had willed it down to a one-possession game, John, it's back up to 9 in favor of the home squad.
Well, this is good. This is competitive. You know, KW's in it. A couple of hot shooters like a Kindred, or we haven't seen Sam McCano come back in, or Cano come back in yet. He's still nailed to the bench.
Miller off the inbound has 10 seconds to make a play. Dangerous over to a teammate who tried to
saw
lob
that
it up.
That was an
Being
undercut.
fouled harshly from behind was Lightfoot.
Yeah, he was going up. He was going up for the alley-oop for the lob, and Justin Jackson, I don't think he meant to undercut him. I don't think he realized that he was jumping. Lightfoot was jumping way up in the air for the alley-oop. But that's a foul. He had no chance to land.
So the good news for Kitchener, this third quarter, they produced the most points of any quarter so far on your night. They had 15 in the first, 14 in the second. They've already produced 18 points here in the third quarter of play, John. But the bad news is that they still trail by 9 points.
But that elastic band hasn't snapped yet, right? Remember I always talk about that spread, all right?
You can bend but not break.
Yes, and that's what they're doing right now. And London, to their credit, they're fighting fire with fire here, matching for the most part basket for basket.
Kindred couldn't get the 3 ball to go. It was Edwards trying to save it, but it ricochets out of bounds.
Those signs got to go farther back or more into
into
the corner.
Next year, I'm buying you one. It'll say John Van Hellingen on the side of it.
It just should be a little farther in the corner, a little deeper. There's so many times we've seen players get there and step on them.
So Burns will check off. Adams is coming in for Doug Plum's crew. It looks like Cliff Clinkscale's trying to make a late substitution. They are not going to give him. No, Nuga didn't get the ball in time.
No, I think, did he wave like this on the line? I think he stepped on the line.
He stepped in play before he inbounded it.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a careless mistake.
Yeah, because he didn't do the signal where time is up, right?
And it inadvertently gives Clinkscales a substitution as he was trying to get in Williams for Miller.
So here we got Kindred and Sam McCannell, their leading scorer, both on the floor now. I think this is a great move by Cannell, going right to the hoop, not settling for the jump shot, taking it hard to the hoop.
He had 9 points in the opening quarter. He was scoreless into the second half until that last play. He's now got 11 points, but it is actually Marcus Oddie who's in that far corner for the Lightning, leading everybody on the court right now with 13 points. Jackson guarded fiercely by Williams. The step back J is away. It won't go down. Lightfoot with a huge rebound, his third of the game.
Yeah, he's really had an impact, Lightfoot, on the game.
Aquino, last basket for the Titans, again leading them with 11 so far on your evening.
We want the mismatch down here. Clinkscale says you should have brought it over earlier.
Well, I mean, grabbing onto him the whole time was Audie. I'm surprised he didn't get that earlier.
Well, you see, Clinkscale is the coach on the sideline. His player's at the top of the key, and Clinkscale's the one that sees the mismatch on the far side of the court. Like, why is the player not seeing it, right? Take 2 dribbles over to your right and pass it into the big guy who's got the smallest guy on him. But it's the coach with the vision, with the most assists ever in the league history, still seeing the floor from the bench.
So when the Titans won by 2 over the Lightning last Sunday, they actually only went to the free throw line 9 times. They made 8 of shots, though. That was 88.9%. So far on your Thursday, John, a bit of a different story. After getting this one in, they are now 8 of 11 from the field for 72.7%. That's not where the damage is being done against the Titans, though. They're shooting themselves in the foot from beyond the arc. They've only made 2 of 19 shots. That's 10.5%. They're down by 5. Last time I checked, they make 2 more of those, John. They got a lead.
Your math is good. Yeah, there's the post right there. That's a holding foul, look like to me.
And Lightfoot points right at Lard, saying, I might have got away with one there.
He's like, you okay? You're okay. That's which is good sportsmanship. But
so it ain't over till it's over, John Van Hellingen, despite the fact that the Lightning have been dictating the pace.
Lots of game left here. A little bit low scoring, but
a little bit low scoring.
I like the physical intensity here in the battle.
A little bit low scoring, John. As trying to put it back with authority was Lightfoot, but they're going to say Hayes does it instead, the and one.
Look over there. This, to me, is a mark of the team has only played 7 or 8 games together, but look at the chemistry on the bench. Everybody in the bench jumped up on that. Everybody's high-fiving the coach, right? So I think there's a start of a good thing building here in KW.
And I saw the same scene actually at the end of the second quarter there, John, when Kindred made that nifty alley-oop play with his offhand, and that really got the bench jammed up for a guy playing in his first game back in 2023.
And some of those guys on the bench got pulled because they weren't playing well, right? So that just tells me already the amount of respect that Clinkscale has got already.
Jalen Hayes, by the way, the Sioux Falls Skyhawks drafted him in the second round with the second round 13th pick in the 2018 G League draft. He played 3 seasons for the Cheshire Phoenix in Britain, and then ended up playing in Switzerland and recently in Romania. What's interesting to note, though, He played for a team called the Phoenix in Britain. He also played for a team called the Phoenix in Romania, as Aquino brings his team back here, 56-56 with 1:20 left on the third quarter clock. And
Yes.
look at the Titans bench to your last comment, John. Nobody's sitting down.
If we could do a shot of Klinkskill celebrating that basket, that was just priceless.
Nuga, 3-ball is away, rattles down.
One of the few defensive miscues that time from KW that time, giving an open look, and Nuga makes them pay.
Nuga, that's got to feel like a bit of a monkey off the back.
Yeah,
he was one of
I
5
agree
from
with that.
downtown.
Yeah, but he was wide open, took his time.
Williams faked the 3, attacks the paint, near elbow, splash.
Which he should. He's got the size advantage on Audi.
For Williams, that's his opening bucket of the game here in the last minute of the third quarter. Justin Jackson, 3-ball, it won't go down, John.
He's getting held Lard that time by Lightfoot. Lard's trying to get the rebound. His one arm's pinned behind his back by Lightfoot. That's a foul.
Jackson 0 for 4 tonight from beyond the arc. He was 2 of 5 from beyond the arc in that 2-point loss to the Titans on Sunday.
Well, I'm not saying that he can't make threes because he has a nice natural shooting motion. I'm just saying that it should not be the first option. Get it inside, pass it inside, go get it inside. That's all I'm saying.
John, these two teams combined for 224 points on Sunday. I know we still got a quarter to play yet, but we haven't even reached the 120-point plateau yet. Although Burns is going to try and change that up. He's extended the lead to 3.
25 seconds left.
Williams directing traffic, but Jonathan will put on the brakes and set up shop in the front court. 3 seconds divide the shot clock and game clock. Williams gonna wind it down. Use a bit of a screen from Hayes and feed the Oakland product of the NCAA, who splashes it down. Hesitation on the inbound. It'll be Audi at midcourt. It's good if it counts. In fact, the official was waving it off right away. I thought he got it off with plenty of time, but regardless, it didn't go.
It didn't go.
61-61.
Wow, we got a ball game on our hands. Good comeback in the last 4 or 5 minutes, especially of this quarter by KW Titans. They came alive after that kick in the pants by Clinkscales, taking the whole 5 guys off and put new 5 on. They got new life.
John, they only had 29 points at the halftime break. I was chirping London saying, hey, you gave up 32 points in the first quarter last night, and then you only give up 29 this half? They just gave up 32 points in the third quarter.
I'm with you.
And I go back to Sunday's game. London trailed 24-20 after the first quarter play, but led the Titans by 153-52 at halftime. What was the real difference? A Titans 33-point third quarter.
So, duplicate.
You love Yogi Berra, so I'm going to say it anyway. All over again.
All right. He's great, hey, Yogi Berra.
Yankees legend.
Yeah. 13 turnovers for the Lightning, so to me, that's been their Achilles heel a lot.
The road, take it.
Yes, that's hilarious. Okay.
And you can observe a lot by just watching.
Just watching, yes.
And that is actually some key wisdom there.
I agree. Yep. He was great. He was terrific. Yep.
We will try and get more than just the deja vu all over again in future broadcasts.
I want to get some philosopher quotes going in here sometime. I don't know what it is yet, but somewhere in there that's related to basketball. I don't know what it is yet.
You know what? I didn't even ask you. You know, we were talking about baseball and the WBC, my poor team Canada being eliminated.
Our poor team. Come on.
What I was going to throw out there was, what did you think of the Netherlands performance? And they actually had a nifty hat. They had the crown. The Dutch crown was their logo going into the WBC.
I did not see that.
I got to get you that hat.
Yeah, I got about 4 or 5 Dutch hats. So.
Well, you'll like the baseball one then.
I will then, absolutely.
So we are into the fourth quarter of action. Both teams have combined for 122
that's
points.
A carry. Oh my goodness.
Hayes for 3. Splash!
Oh my! They are feeling it right now. London's going to have to match the intensity as well as the shooting percentage.
But the official in John Van Hellingen saw something there.
What's that? Me?
Well, before the play, you saw.
Yeah. That was a travel.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh,
rejected
my
at the
word!
rim. And again.
Tyran Walker, the block party is coming out here in the fourth quarter, folks. It's a jamboree for the basketball.
Tell you, this is a battle royale right now.
Burns for 3. It'll rattle out.
Wow,
Aquino's got the rebound.
All that hard work and no points for her, but kudos to both teams for battling.
Audi was trying the tomahawk jam, and Tyran Walker came back. I think he used this quote last night. The irresistible force versus the immovable object. That's exactly what we saw there.
Exactly, yeah.
6 seconds left on the shot clock. Akano backtracks the 3-ball land.
Oh, they're feeling it. They're feeling it. It's contagious, you know, when your teammates start making baskets.
Look at the Titans bench jumping around.
They're coming into the den of the lion here, right? Into the biggest stadium in the league.
Doug Plum, who had half a foot on the court, I think wants to, well, substitute himself in there.
Oh,
now, Walker got a piece of that, but it still went in.
He's just grinning on the way back, goes, oh, kudos to you. Like, I played great defense, but you just did a great shot with your left hand, no less.
And I don't think I've seen that too much, where it actually deflected off of the defender's hand and still somehow had the geometry to go in. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Good old Plum right out at midcourt. He's more onto the court than the official, John. Isom battling for the ball with the much smaller Miller, but the possession arrow favors London.
Back to London again, yeah.
You got to give credit to the 5'11" Miller, though, going after the 6'9" Marique Isom like that.
Well, I think that substitution that Klinkskill did in the beginning of the third
full
quarter,
five-man, five-off.
That sent a message and a jolt of energy, not to the players that went on the floor and played well, but to the bench as well. Because these bench players that have come back on, they have been playing very, very hard.
Hayes, 15 points. Akano, 16 points. So 31 of the 67 points between those two individuals. And Kindred and Poole have been supporting it with 8 each.
That time a poor entry pass into Lard. He had position. I'm surprised that's
down to the deck goes Audie from Edwards, but he can't make him pay, John. Back the other way comes Burns. The floater's up and hits nylon.
I'm going to keep saying all season long, when Burns gets to the foul line, good things happen.
That was like poetry in motion when he let go of that shot.
Yes.
Lead is 2 points for the Titans. Remember, they trailed the majority of the first half, large in part by double digits, even into the third quarter of play. But they have battled back here in the fourth quarter and made it one heck of a ball game on your Thursday night. And continuing to rumble is Hayes. He's leading everybody on the court right now with 17
that
points.
That was terrific defense by Isom, but just a better offensive putback.
Hayes is 6 of 15 from the field, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. Isom to Lard, got his pocket picked. Edwards, a 2-on-2 the other way for the Titans. Edwards gonna do it himself, can't get it to go. Miller popped it into Audie.
Audie had his back foot on the back line, I saw it. Referee called it.
I'm really shocked that a timeout hasn't been taken far earlier by Doug Plum and the Lightning, but it does appear with 8:50 remaining in the fourth quarter, the defending coach of the year is gonna do that right now.
And I'm not sure I'm reading Lard's body language there, but he seems quite frustrated at the moment.
Well, if you recall earlier in this game, he was frustrated at a non-foul call against him. He thought he was fouled when he was, or that he created a foul when he hadn't.
But I don't know, he looked upset at his teammate there as well. I don't like that body language when I see it.
A handful of times, to Cameron's point, though, he has been open with the mismatch and not been found.
Exactly. Working hard underneath there. His teammates got to look for him.
You make a good point. Communicate that as a good teammate. Don't just pout and moan and have bad body language going back to the bench.
That's what I was reading. Yeah. So, but I do think that's the right play to get it into Lard, or into Jackson if he's on.
The London Lightning will be back in action this Sunday when they take on the Sudbury 5, a team they lost 113-102 to last night. In fact, Sudbury has now beaten the London Lightning twice here at Budweiser Gardens in 2023. London's lost 3 games here in this building. Why is that so shocking? Because in 16 games between the playoffs and the regular season combined in 2022, they lost none.
What are you seeing over here? I'm seeing Plum not talking to his team. I'm seeing assistant coach Provenzano not talking to his team.
Well, so it is the assistant coach Dave Sewell who's actually conducting the huddle. You're right, though. Micah Provenzano sort of sat at the outside, and Doug Plum's at midcourt.
So he delegated to, so it's more of a players meeting than the coach telling him what to do, right?
Well, remember, the Lightning were on a 9-game winning streak. That was snapped by the Titans last Sunday, 113-111 in a heartbreaker.
Well, we said this last year, too. Like, it seems, and almost every year that I've been in this league since the very beginning.
I was going to say, you're an OG of this league, John.
I am. And but what I've seen year after year is that London always gets off to a head start because they're well prepared.
Akano one-hand floater.
Because they're well prepared. Everything's done in advance. They got players and systems going already. So they always seem to have a head start on all the other teams in the league early in the season. Then as the season goes on, the other teams start to finally figure out who they are get to pick up some players, figure out how to play against a high-powered team like London. And so I think that's where we are in this point in the season right now as well.
4 seconds left on the shot clock. Audie finds a seam, and he's able to get it over Hayes for 2 points.
That was Nugo, wasn't it? Yeah.
Or, I apologize, you are correct,
That's okay.
partner.
They're identical playing styles for sure.
And both Canadians.
Yeah, both quick.
Tyran Walker out of his office. Why do I say that? Well, in his collegiate career, he took 0 3-ball attempts, so I don't think he's going to be shooting from out there.
He doesn't post up for offense either, you see. It's very rarely.
He just shoots it right over Lard, but can't get it to go.
Yeah, but you see, that's a rare exception because the shot clock was going down.
Nuga tried to reverse it. They're going to say he was fouled by Edwards before another block potentially by
I don't think
Walker.
that was Walker's foul.
No, it's on Edwards.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm saying it negates a Walker block, though. And unfortunately, Nuga looks a bit banged up.
He came down hard, yeah. Those guys sitting on the end there with their cameras are in a vulnerable position, too.
Hey, that's how you get those awesome shots. You got to be right in the action.
I'd not be sitting there. I might be. I don't know.
If you go to the London Lightning, not only their Facebook but their Instagram, they pretty much do a great job of posting the photography from, they call it the first half views, and they have second half views.
Okay.
And man, you can pretty much see the sweat coming off of these guys' faces when they're ducking the ball. That's how close they are.
Okay, here'd be a great shot here, right? What he's doing now, yeah.
So yeah, well, it's also safe because he's taking a free throw.
No, but I mean, where he's sitting low, blah blah blah. I mean, that's probably a cool angle, right? But I'm going.
He's in the danger zone, Kenny Logan style.
I'd be on a rolly chair, is what I'd be.
Oh,
roll back when they come down.
If they're going to let you do that on the hard one.
When they come, well, not actually on the court.
So Nuga, by the way, was 1 of 2 to the line, missed both there. 1 of 4 from the free throw line, and this is when it's going to count, John, in the fourth quarter play.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
backboard.
Fundamental basketball.
Yes, sir.
A little Tim Duncan.
It is.
I knew you'd love it.
I don't think Timmy would drive it like that, but I mean, that's.
Timmy was a little taller, too, John.
The principle of using the backboard is huge.
Burns trying to respond. The floater's up, rattles down.
He worked hard for that one. Oh, no, going to be a freebie here.
Not being able to make them pay as Edwards, they're going to say stepped out of bounds. It's a turnover.
Wow, who blocked that one? My goodness.
Looks like Kindred's racing to the scorer's table to come back into this game, and he's going to do so right now. It'll be Edwards actually coming out. So Edwards so far in this game for Joel Kindred and the Titans. He's got 2 points. That's just his second foul of the game. Edwards is 1 of 9 from the field. I'm not trying to chirp him, but stop shooting the ball and let your team win this game. 7 minutes remains on your Thursday night. Cameron Lard kicks it out to Audie. 3-ball won't go down.
That was great offensive execution, though. Nice pick and roll, kicking into the corner from the inside out.
Hayes dribble drive off the window for 2.
They must have an X on the spot there because they hit it every time and it drops right in.
Titans' largest lead of the game, 6 points with 6:36 remaining in the contest. That is, unless we get a little extracurricular basketball on our Thursday night, John.
Travel, yeah.
In fact, I go back to the 2021 season that was stricken by COVID. London looked like they were going to be undefeated at home that season too, but they ended up losing 3 straight times at home. In one of those games, I know you're going to say it's many moons ago and not the same players, but John,
yes,
the Titans won in double overtime here at Budweiser Gardens.
That was a fun game, yes it was. But has no relevance now.
Well, you say that until we go to double overtime.
Yes, I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but that would be cool.
Now, Burns got in the grill of a Kano, but they're going to say it went off of Sam last, so it's London ball.
It bounced off of him to go out of bounds.
Akano leading everybody on the court with 20 points. His teammate Hayes behind him with 19. Audie the most for the London Lightning with 15, supported by Nuga's 13 and Burns' 12. Here is Nuga right now, 2 of 6 from downtown. Burns from distance.
Oh,
long distance charges may apply.
Yes, in that case for sure.
It's a 1-possession game as we get through midcourt. It's Kindred, the season MVP from 2022, can't get the distance to go.
Oh, you still got the lineup for London, right? They got Lou Field and Isom as the 2 bigs. Oh, he's trying
Another
heat
deeper
check.
shot.
Oh my, who's that? Lufiel, the garbage man, yes!
Lufiel might have rolled his
yes,
ankle
he
though,
might have,
partner. But it is Mike Nuga getting the 2 into the tin. He's got 15 points now for the home squad.
You're right, yeah, he's wincing over there. Coach coming out to see him as well. That was terrific hard work by Lufiel.
You'll see it, he's battling with Jaquan Lightfoot for the ball, and as he goes up for the shot, I think his left ankle is under Lightfoot as he's falling down and as Lufiel's trying to go up for the shot.
You're absolutely right, yep. But good hard work, and now a 1-point game. KW still on top and a timeout called.
I mentioned how London will be back in action this Sunday. That'll take place on the road at the Sudbury Community Arena. That's at 2 p.m. on your Sunday, so a couple days to rest up for the London Lightning and enjoy their St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. For the KW Titans, it'll be no partying. It's a work trip tomorrow. They go to the United States, they'll play the Flint United.
And at 11 o'clock.
Unless there's a typo on the league website, it's an 11 a.m. tip-off on your St. Patty's Day.
Not 11 p.m.
Why would it be 11 p.m., John?
Like 11 a.m.
I don't think most people aren't going to be awake at 11 p.m. on their St. Patrick's Day. You can put that one in the book.
Well, I'm staying up late tonight to watch NCAA March Madness, so.
Well, you get a couple of those green beverages into you tomorrow. I don't think you'll see 11 p.m. on the dial. We go back to your Thursday night before we can get into some St. Patty's Day fun. Well, we're on St. Patty's Eve. This is going down as one heck of a basketball game. The Titans, again, only scored 29 points in the opening half, folks. They scored 32 points alone in the third quarter and now have a 1-point lead with 5:20 to go. Hayes spinning around. I thought he left his pivot foot. Regardless, he missed the shot, and Isom grabbed the rebound. Marique's 8th rebound of the game.
And the crowd is getting into it as well. You can just hear the volume rising.
Burns, step back, hits nylon.
He got hit on the face that time, so I don't know, are they calling the basket or not? Looks like, yeah, they're shooting one. Stellick's got his finger up, shooting one.
I kid you not, John, this crowd is so loud you didn't hear the official's whistle go off.
Oh, yeah, there's some truth to that, absolutely. Lufiel is back on the floor. Looks like he's just tweaked it, so he's back on the floor.
Like a James Bond martini, shaken, not stirred.
Well, I'm just interested in this lineup here. Look at the lineup. You got Nuga, right? You got Audie, you got Burns. All three smalls, all ball handlers, all quick, right? All true point guards, really.
And Kendrick fouled him there, John, but on that replay, great job by Curtis in the production booth. I don't think that was prior to the shot. But hey, they don't get the replays like we do up in the booth.
It was prior to the shot?
It appeared to be prior.
Okay,
so don't quote me on that.
Well, things do happen quickly sometimes, yes.
It is the aforementioned Kindred getting it over to Sam Acano. There's only 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Down by 2.
Knows it too, yeah.
They couldn't tie it there. Audie right into the grill of Miller, and the possession arrow favors the Titans.
Oh my, what was Lufiel doing there? You always grab the ball. You don't wait for somebody else to come and get it. Just
could Audie have potentially called him off there?
No, I don't think so. I think he was just deferring to Audie, but he never, always get the ball.
So a second chance to tie it, but they give it away on the inbound. Miller foolishly, too many black uniforms around his teammate. Now Burns.
Oh, he's feeling it. Ho, ho, ho.
Click, click, bang.
Man, has he come up big the last 3 or 4 minutes.
The lead's now up to 5
points, yeah.
And Burns, as a result right now, 2 of 9 from beyond the arc. He's 8 of 20 so far in this game from the field. Lightfoot looking for a teammate and goes to Acano. Shot clock again against the Titans. Only 3 seconds left. Hayes is going to have to shoot it, but he doesn't. He took a step in instead, and that's a shot clock violation.
Isom forced him into it, right? It didn't give him any kind of space to put up the three-pointer with a few seconds to go. Well, that give props to Isom that time.
Now the officials actually letting the London bench know that they can't come onto the court. So what's Doug Plump doing? A guy that comes onto the court constantly. He's going, well, look at the Titans bench. They come onto the court.
No, they never came on the court. They're yelling up and down in the corner.
I'm watching what Doug's saying to the official down on the court. And trust me, they were trying to tell the London bench to settle down.
On the court. We saw him standing up.
As, by the way, Cliff is now on the court. So it's even Steven, by the way.
He's got 1/2 foot on the court.
It's still on the court, John. Burns, step back, won't go. That could have been a dagger, John. Instead, it's Akano clearly fouled by Burns. It didn't like the transition coming at him.
That's the first team foul in this quarter as well.
Third foul of the game for Burns.
That's a big advantage for London, right? You can foul when you need to, when it looks like they might have an easy shot or run to the basket. Foul them, there's no bonus on yet.
Burns, from that last assist, John, now has the double-double, 21 points and 10 assists. Marcus Audi, who's our player to watch in this game, 3 rebounds shy of the double-double to couple with his 15 points. Akano, 20 points in this game, leading everybody on the hardwood. Over to Kindred, 8 seconds left from the free throw line, hits the rim and won't go in. Lufiel with the rebound.
Heavy lifting again, it's Lufiel.
Lufiel, though, didn't recognize the numbers game up the court and gave it to Audi late, forcing Lightfoot to foul.
Well, and the same goes for KW. That's only their second.
Fifth foul for Lightfoot, though.
Was that a foul on Lightfoot? Or
Correct.
Was that on Kindred?
No, it was on number 5, so that's Lightfoot. Kindred is subbing out, though, to your point, John.
Yeah. It's, I don't see Lightfoot going off the floor. So.
Well, Kindred has 3 fouls. Okay. I'm assuming he's just resting him up as Cliff for the final couple minutes of play. That's my assumption there.
Well, and he hasn't played. This is his first game with the team as well.
In 2023, so that's correct.
I'm going to go with the guys that have. Oh, good to see what Nuga did that time. Came hard to the ball because that was a stealable ball again.
The shot clock's expiring here, John, though, and they lose the ball regardless. 3 minutes remaining, and it's a 3-on-1. Akano's going to do it himself for 2 points. Just a 1-possession lead for the Lightning. Nuga, avoiding some defensive pressure by the Titans, moves it into the front court. Backtracks it to Burns, and Burns is going to let the chessboard set up, so to speak. Getting some support from Elijah Lufiel. He loses it, though. They're going to say he was fouled. I don't know about that one.
I thought he was hacked and tripped, so from what I saw, I don't think they got the ball. I think they got him on the arm, and they tripped the man up. But no shooting yet. That's the 4th team foul so far.
And to your point, John, if they got the ball and they tripped him, it's still a foul.
Yes. I guess if you stole the ball first, I don't know.
Yeah, and now you're getting into semantics.
Yes.
So we're going to get a nice replay of it.
Here we go. Looking at it, right? Let's see here. Yeah. Got him on the arm, and he tripped him.
I will correct myself. You are correct.
Good eyes, Johnny.
I want to give a big shout out to Cameron and Quentin, our cameraman, getting us all those incredible angles and getting the job done, as well as Curtis back in the truck supplying us these replays, John. Again, we get the benefit that the officials don't.
What's the holdup here? Somebody tying their shoe,
That's
it looks
right.
like. Yeah.
Rich Stellick's going to give the ball, though, to Mike Nuga, and away we go with 2:36 remaining on the 4th quarter of play.
Well, Burns has been the main man so far.
Burns goes behind the back to avoid Miller. Miller sticking him like white on rice. The fadeaway's going away. Well, it's an air ball this time into the lap of Walker.
Not a high percentage play that time.
A chance to tie it or bring themselves within 1. Sam Akano gives it to Walker. I thought Walker should have attacked the rack. Kicks it out to Edwards instead. The 3-ball won't go down, and Burns pulls away a rebound.
He's doing it on both ends as well, working hard.
2:05 remaining here in the 4th quarter from downtown London on your Thursday night. Burns from distance.
Oh, look who's got it again.
Back out to Isom. It won't go. They volleyball the ball into the Titans' lap. Chance for Akano back up the court. He gets it to go, and it's a 1-point game. Are you not entertained on your Thursday night?
Good open look that time by Isom, too, for the 3. He could have stretched the lead, but terrific drive to the hoop by Sam.
88 seconds remains here in the 4th quarter of play. Audi taking a trip to the baseline, kicks it up to Mike Nuga. Splash!
Big shot, but it all stemmed from somebody penetrating into the middle and kicking it out for the open look in rhythm 3 by Mike Nuga.
Titans wisely call a timeout with 1:22 left in the game clock. Here's a potential dagger from Mike Nuga, who's actually 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. Or sorry, I beg your pardon, was 2 of 6 from beyond the arc. He's now 3 of 7. He shot 7 of 13 from the field. As I mentioned before, a rebound shy is Mike Nuga from a double-double here on your Thursday evening.
So Nuga and Audi close to double-doubles. Wow.
Yeah, Audi is 3 rebounds shy. I think I've mentioned this before. Burns already has the double-double with 10 assists and 21 points. On the Titan side of the court, Jalen Hayes has a double-double with 19 points and 10 rebounds, but He's pretty much the only one that could get into that category. By the way,
that was a sort of a quiet 19 points as well, right?
We forgot to note on that last foul by the Titans, it went against Jaquan Lightfoot. That's number 6. He's out of the game.
So he is out of the game. All right.
So how fast did that happen? Lightfoot had 3 at the end of the third quarter. He picked up 3 quickly here in the fourth, and he's out of the contest. The only person in foul trouble on the London side of the fence is Marique Isom, who's got 4.
Well, it's a 4-point lead now. Quite a turnaround here the last 3 minutes, mainly because of Mr. Burns. He was on fire, and that's a great simile, right? Great picture.
Break out the aloe. So again, if you are the Titans, it is a 2-possession deficit that you're facing. What kind of game plan do you work up now in the huddle?
Well, it's still a minute 22, so you're going to get the ball back at least one more time, maybe even 2 more times, depending on the pace of play, right? So you take whatever is open.
And again, these two teams played each other on Sunday. The Titans did pull away with the thrilling 113-111 victory, large in part to the 33-point performance in the third quarter. Here, they only scored 29 points in the opening half, but yeah, they did score 32 points in the third quarter alone. Down by 4, it'll be the Kitchener native Miller inbounding it. Aquino thought about taking the 3, feeds Kendred instead. Too much muscle. They battle for the ball, and it's an over-the-back foul on Edwards.
No,
wait a minute.
I think they're calling it an Isom.
You are right.
So what Isom's boxing out, but you can't put your arms behind your back and sort of corral the defender behind you like a chicken wing. You know, you can't do that. You can box out and keep your elbows up and high.
So
but
just
you
the second team foul.
You can't reach back and around and hold your opponent. That's what it was called.
Second team foul, 5th foul for Isom. So now he's somebody you got to watch out for if you're Doug Plum. Kindred, another chance from distance. He is cold from beyond the arc, though, John. He's just 1 of 8. Now Aquino can't dial it up. He's 2 of 6. They've gone cold at the worst possible time.
Good looks there.
They are 5 of 26 in this game from beyond the arc.
Ball's in Audie's hands again. Mr. Quick.
Not that you're going to make every shot, John, but that's 21 missed 3 balls in this game.
Yes.
That's 63 potential points on the board.
Wow.
And they're only down by 4.
Holding foul that time by KW on Burns. No bonus yet.
So if you're Kitchener, are you going to foul right away here? Or you do let Burns and London try and shoot themselves in the foot in this possession?
I think you got to put some pressure on and do a foul here.
Instead, there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Burns, the patented step back 2, nylon ripper.
And where was he on the court? By the foul line. He was by the foul line where that turnaround was.
Now the officials immediately go over to the scorer's table, and they're pointing immediately to the score clock above London's net. So there originally was 28.8, and they've now put 32.8. So an additional 4 more seconds, and I think it was Kitchener's bench was barking about that after that last Burns basket. But Jordan Burns truly turning into your player of the game, 23 points and 10 assists. The majority of the damage coming here in the fourth quarter when it counts.
4 points, absolutely.
Aquino had his pocket pick from Burns from behind, but it goes off of the Colgate product last. It'll maintain Kitchener possession.
Setting his teammates up for 3 quarters, and the last quarter he's taken over.
Do you have to go for a quick 3 here, John?
I would think so.
Hayes obliges that.
Oh,
banks this one in. It's a 3-point game. Kitchener trying to pressure out of the gate. They're going to foul Isom, who in theory is the worst guy to foul. Why? He's got an NBLC record with most consecutive free throws made in this league, and he was 96% from the charity stripe in 2023.
He's not shooting yet. Not in the bonus
because they're not in the bonus, to your point. Now Nuga will be fouled after the inbound.
That's a good choice because he's struggled tonight at the foul line.
And Mike Nuga is 1 of 4 from the line.
Well, he just needs to make 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't foul Audie. He's 3 of 3. Burns is 3 of 3. Isom's 2 of 2. But Nuga, to your point, the worst one yet, 1 of 4. So actually, London kind of played into their hands there.
They did.
Nuga has to have ice water in the veins, and he does, John. He turns it into a 2-possession lead. Huge shot for Mike Nuga, and you know what? He goes 2 for 2 when it counts, John, after it was 1 for 4 going into that shot. I think a timeout is called on the court.
Yep, it was a timeout called. Clutch shooting that time by Nuga.
So we talked about it after the last Titans inbound, albeit that was from the end line underneath London's basket. They shot a quick 3 via the bank from Jalen Hayes, and it was good. But here, down by 4, they're going to have to not only get it through into London territory, but you would assume you'd go for the 3, or if there's an easy 2 available, do you take it?
Well, whatever the quickest hitter open is what you should take, in my opinion. You know, that's likely going to be a 3, but if London's overplaying a 3, it could be a 2, right? But either one, what's quick, and then you got to put pressure on the ball when London's inbounding to see if you can get a turnover. But as soon as the ball is inbounds, you got to foul right away.
London is 9-4 within the conference. They're looking to improve to 10-4 within NBLC opponents, but overall they would improve to 14-4, and with Sudbury not playing today, to quote a baseball reference, they'd be half a game up on the 5 as far as the standings is concerned.
Well, the other question is, London only has 2 team fouls. Like, if the ball goes inbounds, you could foul them potentially 4 times, run off 8, 9, 10 seconds off this clock, and then they wouldn't even go to the line. So let's see if that's a strategy that London uses.
Well, and there's only 21.7 seconds left. Now, after the timeout, they do advance it up the court for the Titans, so that helps out Cliff Clinkscales. But at the end of the day, I think it's the same situation. They were just facing down by 5. They got to look for a quick 3.
Yeah, but is London going to foul right away? What are we going to do?
Now, Clinkscales several times in this fourth quarter has wisely gone over to the scorer's table and goes, can you just double check to make sure that's the right time? And let's face it, already 2 occasions, they've added a couple seconds favoring the Titans.
They have, yes.
I noticed this time, Doug Plum's right in there on the scorer's table too, just trying to make sure the right call is made. So they didn't really add any time there, John.
Nope.
And it looks like some of the assistant coaches kind of dejected by that on the Titan side. So 21.7 seconds left. The Kitchener native Miller will inbound it to Edwards. He'll be double teamed and fouled. Oh, Johnny, it looked like he could have made that shot for a second there.
Are they counting him on the shooting foul?
Yes,
going to the line.
He was in the act of shooting.
I think the intent was to foul him before he got the ball off, but to his credit, he got the ball off so quickly, he didn't have time to foul him on the floor.
Huge shots for Edwards here. The guard from Brooklyn, New York, that went to 2 seasons at Tennessee. Martin misses the first one from the line. The former Skyhawk of the NCAA played in over 1,700 minutes for Tennessee. Martin misses this one too, and that should just about do it on your Thursday night. The Titans will look to foul ice him, but like you said, they're not in the bonus.
And now they are.
Oh, now.
That foul did it.
So the Titans gave it a gallant effort here on your Thursday night, but they are going to come up shy, and London is going to snap out of their 2-game losing streak and go back into the win column.
Well, I think the unsung hero, especially in this fourth quarter, we know Burns took over the game for scoring, but the unsung hero to me is Elijah Lufiel. The way he physically battled and got extra possessions, played good on defense, got some extra possessions on offense, right? Some terrific rebounding. Didn't even need to score to be effective. To me,
he had
was
just
sort
7
of that
points,
secret ingredient.
But to your point, he had 8 rebounds, and a key 4 of them were offensive rebounds.
Exactly, that's my point.
Kindred to Akano. Shot clock side off. Akano trying to add to his point total. He can't do it. Ison pulls away the rock. And here on your Thursday night, after losing 2 consecutive games by giving up 113 points to their opponents, they limit the Titans to just 82 points on your Thursday night and pull away the 89-82 victory. Lightning win here on your Thursday night on NBLC.TV.
Wow, what a terrific game.
Had an excellent performance, John. 24 points. Jalen Hayes, 22 points in the double-double. But realistically, they were outshined in that fourth quarter by Jordan Burns, who finishes with 23. And Mike Nuga, who hit those 2 key free throws at the fourth quarter junction there, John, is just behind him in production as far as his 20 points is concerned. But man, oh man, a couple of factors coming into this game. Number one, what a crowd on hand.
It was great crowd, great involvement.
That fourth quarter was so entertaining and such high quality basketball. At certain points, you couldn't hear the officials' whistle getting blown.
I love it.
So the London Lightning will look to make it 2 wins in a row against the Sudbury Five this Sunday. For the KW Titans, well, they now fall to 2-7 on the regular season, but for the first time for the Titans in 2023, they are going to get a taste of the Basketball League, albeit top of the morning to you on St. Patrick's Day at 11 a.m.
Yes, I think I'm impressed with KW's team, to be honest with you. They held London to 89 points, right? London played terrific defense tonight. A lot of key players, a lot of key contributions.